Welcome back to Origami Snowman. I'm sitting on my bus right now. Just thought I'd make a quick video. Why not? I'm very early to where I need to be, and so I thought I'd use this time wisely and make a video. Not entirely sure. I have two ideas. I can either talk about my favorite video games of all time, which seems likely, or I can talk about make a very depressing and short list of the things that I feel like I'm actually good at. Let's do the video games. That seems a lot less upsetting. Oh boy. Well, if I were to make the other list, video games would not be one of the things I'm good at. Anyway, oh, look at that. That was a pretty good shot. I will eat my words now. Anyway, so let's talk about video games. The video games that my all-time favorite video games. My history with video games is not very unique. I was a child of the 80s. I was born in the late 70s, but I was there. I was there for all of it. I was there for Atari. I was there for Nintendo. I was there for Sega. I was there for the not the PS1. We didn't call it the PS1. We just called it a PlayStation. And then they came out with the PS2. And then they reissued the PlayStation, and then they called it the PS1. So, you say, oh, the PS1. Yeah, that ages you. That tells me exactly how old you are. You're not old at all. Which isn't really an insult. But the thing is, I never had the console of the moment. I was always like one console behind everyone. You know what I mean? Like we did not have a lot of money. So, Atari came out. And hey, cool, Atari, neat, When the Nintendo came out, nobody wanted an Atari. So the price on the Atari dropped to a very reasonable number, and we were able to get one. I bought an Atari 7800 with my own money. I think I paid $40 for it, and it was awesome. And that was my thing. It came with Pole Position 2, which at the time was an awesome game. We loved it. I don't remember having a genuinely I played Joust a lot. Joust was fun. See, the cool thing about the Atari 7800 was that it would also play the 5600 games. So if you had an old Atari, your old games would still play on the new system. They were cool like that. And so when the Nintendo came out and the Atari 7800 dropped in price, the Atari 5600 games were already dirt cheap, so I ended up just getting a bunch of those because they were cheap. And you'd always find them at garage sales and stuff for, $2. So, oh boy, I'm just gonna, little bites. So, I played games like Joust and Atlantis. There was one game, it was I think it was a 7800 game. It was called Crossbow, and it was sort of like a role-playing adventure type game. Like you had to, you basically used your crossbow to, shoot targets and things like that. And that was really, really hard on the Atari because there wasn't like a gun. It was just you had your joystick controller, with your two buttons, one on either side, and that was it. That was what you had. And so I thought it was a cool game. I just didn't play it very much because I was not good at it at all. But you played what games you had. You played what you could. Now, when we finally got a Nintendo, right about the time the Sega Genesis was real popular, I got my Nintendo used. I got it secondhand. $40 from a friend at church. And I played that like crazy. Played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on that. I played Super Tecmo Bowl. Obviously you played Mario Brothers and Super Mario 2. Super Mario 2, that was I really liked that one. I had a special place in my heart for that one. That was for whatever reason, I really latched onto that one. Super Mario Brothers 3 felt like it was too hard. Now, at the time, I wasn't obsessed, but I have since grown to have a great nostalgic soft spot for the original Legend of Zelda. And I think, oh boy, part of it is, there's another bus coming in. It's going to make some bus noises, so be prepared. Not honking and tooting or anything, but just, diesel engines. Rumble, rumble. There we go. Okay. So, I think part of that nostalgia comes from one time somebody, like, completely out of context, said, "It's dangerous to go alone. Take this," and they like handed someone their car keys or something like that. And I was like, oh, I know what that's from. It was an inside joke, and I felt like I was in on it. And that's when I kind of started to understand, wait a minute. This is like a cultural thing. This isn't just a thing that I know about. This isn't just a thing that happens in my basement when, like I should be doing my homework. This is like everybody knows about this. And and it suddenly felt like I was part of something. And so, that has endeared Legend of Zelda to me. Plus, what a great game. Now, I'm going to be honest, I've never beat that game. I'm, again, not great at video games. But I would have to say, of all the games that Nintendo ever put in my hands, the game I played the most with a bullet was Tetris. Oh, what a game. I mean, what a game. Oh my gosh, Tetris was just... Whew. And you didn't play to win. You played to play. You played, it was like you don't eat cake to be full. You eat cake because cake is good, Tetris was amazing. And I don't know that I will ever find another game that just fulfills me in that same way. This game, Desert Golf, it's that nice, mindless kind of thing. It doesn't ask much of you. There's no tension in this game like there was in Tetris. Tetris, it put you in these positions where you were like, I'm not going to get out, I'm not going to get out, I'm not going to get out. And then you managed to pull off an amazing win and you saved the day and hole in one. And, it was great. It made you feel powerful and like you could, made you feel like you could do things. So anyway, Tetris, probably all-time, there we go. All-time favorite, let's see if I can just eke the ball just a little. Nope, didn't work. All-time favorite Nintendo game. I never had a Super Nintendo. Let me tell you a story about Super Nintendo. So one Christmas Eve, we went to my dad's trailer, and he had asked my brother, hey, what do you want for Christmas? And my brother said, hey, I've got this very, very big car bill. Somebody fixed my car and I owe him a bunch of money. If you could pay that off, that'd be really helpful. So my dad paid off the car payment, not the car payment, the car bill, the repair bill. My sister, he asked my sister, hey, what do you want? And my sister said, there's this emerald ring that I really want. And so my dad got my sister this emerald ring, and I don't remember if he asked me what I wanted, but I'm the kind of guy to say, hey, anything is great. I just, gifts are great. So he got me 2 sweaters. He bought himself a Super Nintendo. I was 13. So anyway, not bitter. I'm not bitter. 33 years later, I'm not angry. So never had a Super Nintendo. So I don't have anything nice to say about that. Fast forward, I did have a Sega Genesis. That was awesome. The Sega Genesis was a lot of fun. And say what you will, Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 2, great games. But not like Sonic Spinball. Ooh, boy, oh boy, I think that might be the game that I spent the most time on my Sega Genesis playing. Let's move on. Let's move on to the PlayStation. Final Fantasy VII. Let's get to the beat to the, whatever. What is it? Cut to the chase. Thank you. And now Final Fantasy VII. I loved that game. The reason I spent the most time playing it is because it required the most time. 4 discs. When I bought Final Fantasy VII, I'd never played a Final Fantasy game. I didn't know what I was getting into. But 4 discs. It took me 100 hours of gameplay, of playtime. Hey, hole in one. To get off of disc 1. 100 hours off of disc 1. So when I hit disc 3 after only like 20 hours, I was like, wait, did I skip something? I don't know if I skipped anything or not. I don't know. It's been a while. I actually have Final Fantasy VII on my phone, and I keep saying, I'm going to do a Final Fantasy playthrough. Probably not, because nobody really wants to watch me try to figure that game out again after all these years. So Final Fantasy VII was great. but I think the game that connected me most, like, to my peers, one peer in particular, I had a friend named Brian who, we both loved Tekken 2. Great fighting game. You guys know what Tekken is. Tekken 2, so much fun. So much fun. I might be getting ahead of myself with the PlayStation here. No, I'm not. The PlayStation was great, but not nearly as great as the Nintendo 64. The Nintendo 64 changed everything. Not in and of itself, but because of one game in particular, and I don't think it's going to surprise anybody. Oh, look at that. That was actually not bad for a second shot. I don't think it'll surprise anyone to hear me say that I think GoldenEye changed video games forever. Oh, hole in one. The universe agrees with me. Because, you had games that you could play head to head. You could play Street Fighter where you battled, smacked each other upside the head. You had Tekkens, you had things like that. But, if you wanted to play like a head to head first person shooter, you had to have a PC. You had to, haul your computer over to your friend's house, get your LAN cables out, hook everything up, play your Halo, play your Quake, play your Doom. I don't even know if Halo was a thing at the time. Never was a Halo guy. But GoldenEye 64 paved the way for games like Call of Duty. Tell me I'm a liar, tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm an idiot, but that is my experience. We didn't have anything like it. But man, GoldenEye, we played hours and hours of that game. I mean, we would stay up routinely till 4 a.m. Just, it was so good. It was so much fun. You're sitting there watching this thinking, how can nobody have come up with this before? How can this be the first taste? Oh, it was amazing. I'm sorry, the universe is disagreeing with me, but that was it. I worked at a video store at the time, and let me tell you something. We had to buy new copies of GoldenEye every week because people kept stealing ours. There were 3 things that people stole constantly. There was Friday, the movie Friday, the movie Mallrats, and GoldenEye 64. We literally had a standing order for new copies of all of those every week. It was a great game. In fact, when I met my wife, me and my friend Brian, Tech and Brian, we were talking about great video games, and we were saying how great GoldenEye 64 was, and my girlfriend at the time, my eventual wife, said, "Wait, the Nintendo 64?" So I have no idea where I left off. I did, in the middle of the video, got a phone call, and it stopped the recording, and now it's the next day. I'm no longer on my bus, so you shouldn't hear too many more bus sounds. You might hear 1 or 2. People do drive their bus to my house just to hang out, and I have to tell them to leave. That's not cool. So anyway, I think I was talking about, I was dating this super amazing, awesome chick who had a Nintendo 64. We were like, she was in college. I was, ready to move out of my, we were adults. We were, supposed to be thinking adult things, not video games. But let me just tell you, it was GoldenEye. Oh, hello. GoldenEye 64. How are you going to not think about that? Also, guess what? She had a 64, and the only game she had for it was GoldenEye 64. So naturally, I married her, of course. Not a regret to be had. It'll be 22 years in June, and I'm telling you, every minute has been magical. So, hole in one, yeah, the universe has my back on that last statement. Today is Valentine's Day now, by the way, so happy Valentine's Day, my darling. She doesn't watch these videos, and also she would be vomiting right now if she heard me say that. So we're just gonna try to salvage this horrible. Oh, look at that! I'm amazing. Okay, so after the 64, we moved on. I never had a PlayStation 2. The PS2 wasn't something I got in on. I didn't make PS2 money. We'll just put it that way. A string of jobs in, warehouses and factories. Actually, I worked in a factory and made really good money. I just, for whatever reason, didn't have a PlayStation 2. I don't know. I feel like I missed out on it. I feel like a lot of people had some really good experiences with that, mostly revolving around Grand Theft Auto, but I don't know, whatever, it is what it is. So, moving on, I did end up with a PS3. That was my next thing. In fact, I still have a PS3. I'm on my 3rd PS3. My first one, I played that thing until it broke. I played it till my fingers. Oh gosh, I was gonna make a John Cougar Mellencamp reference, but we're not gonna do that anymore. I played that thing until it died. Then I got another one, and was terrified that it also was gonna die. And so I found another one at a garage sale, and I bought that. So now we currently have two PS3s. My son has a PS4 and a PS5. I'm not allowed to play with either one of them. He's more responsible than I am. But with the PS3, let's talk about. So, oh gosh, let's talk about. You know what? Hang on. Let's back up. I got all hung up talking about Final Fantasy VII and Tekken 2 with the PlayStation, and I'm gonna shut my face in a sliding door, because I forgot Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That game, good Lord, what a game! What a game! That game! Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Put it in my hand right here and right now. I want to play. In fact, I will probably play later today. Now that I've mentioned it. Tony Hawk Pro Skater was so much fun, and the soundtrack was amazing. It was just, oh my gosh. I believed I could skateboard. I couldn't. Nope, can't even ollie. But goodness gracious, what a great game. Tony Hawk 2, Tony Hawk 3, and that's where I tapped out. That's where I thought, you know what, I'm good. I've had all the Tony Hawk I can handle. So, Tony Hawk, yeah, for the play. Now let's go back to the PlayStation 3, because really, there have been some great games that I've had for my PlayStation 3. Arkham City. I didn't play Arkham Asylum. I tried to play Arkham Asylum, but I didn't play Arkham Asylum till after I'd played Arkham City. And once you played Arkham City, how do you go back to Arkham Asylum, right? I'm not good at this game. But Arkham City was so much fun, because as Batman, you get to you have your cape, and if you play up and level up enough, you can glide all over. Oh, I'm seriously this isn't going well. And you can glide over the whole map from one end to the other without ever touching the ground. You've got your your grappling hook. Oh my gosh, it's a fun game. Now I don't know anybody who ever made a priority out of finding all of the Joker's little trophies. I know I sure didn't, but that was one element of the game that always kind of intrigued me. I just knew I wasn't going to be able to figure it out. Most of those puzzles that the Riddler sets for you, you're only going to solve them by accident. And I just didn't have time to wait around for the right accident. I cannot believe I missed. This was such an easy hole. How did I miss? Oh, I'm the worst. So Arkham City was a lot of fun. But the game that I without question, without a doubt, without any hesitation, the game that I spent hole in one the most time playing and still play is Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 is up there with Tetris for me as far as beloved games. Its replayability is unmatched. It's so funny, and every game, every time you play, it's a different experience. Not just because the bajillions of guns that they put in the game, they have different variants, and they have different, they just have a lot of guns, you guys. And you never know, some of the guns are legendary and they're farmable. And, my favorite gun, and I know this is probably a little cliche if you played the game and the Unkempt Herald. I love the Unkempt Herald. It's an explosive pistol. I will get a level 8 Unkempt Herald, and no joke, I will use that as my primary weapon until I'm well past level 20. Way after I should have had any use for it. It just, the way it works, the way I just have a different, oh my word. I just understand it in a certain way that I don't understand other weapons. It's such a fun game. Now, people will tell you, if you play Axton, you're a loser. He's sort of a, mid-ground, hole in one. He's sort of a mid-ground character. He's not OP on any particular skill. His skill, oh gosh, his special skill, he throws out a turret that can attract the attention and the aggro of the enemies while mowing them down, and you get around behind them and you light them up. It's good. I like it a lot. I like Axton. I think Axton is a great character. That's how I play. I'm not an assassin. I don't play Zero. I've played oh my gosh, the Siren. How did I forget Maya? I played the game a lot. I can't remember the characters' names. Oh my word. I played Maya. Not my favorite. That's not how I play. It's not my style. Salvatore, he's a good one. He's a gunzerker. He's all about blow it up, destroy it, two guns at once kind of thing. And that's fine and all, but sometimes it's not as satisfying. I like to have a little more precision, not to the point of being a sniper, but I love running into a situation with a pistol and just cap, 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 and like that is satisfying to me. Crit hits, headshots, that's fun. Other times I'm angry at the world, and yeah, I wanna be a gunzerker. I want to blow everything up. That's fine. You have that option too. But the other great thing about Borderlands 2, the DLCs. There's so many. There's so much downloadable content. And now there are two characters, downloadable characters that you can play that aren't part of the base game, Krieg and Gage. I'm not really got into Krieg. He's a little sloppy, a little, I'm going to try something here. We're going to try something a little, yep, look at the physics. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I'm fine. Everything's fine. All right, let's get up there. Let's go real. And not going to make it. Krieg, he's sort of a smash and grab kind of guy. He's a melee monster, and that's great. I'm happy for you if that's your thing. But I also really, I said I liked Axton. I also really like Gage. I like her, sorry, her skill tree is really interesting. Being able to use, build up stacks of anarchy to make you more powerful while also making you less accurate. But you pair that with a gun like the conference call shotgun, which already has, it'll bounce off, it'll ricochet off of surfaces to shoot your enemies. You pair that with nth degree on Gage's skill tree, and you just walk into a room and you pull out that shotgun and just blast a wall, and everyone in the room takes a hit. It's so much fun. Plus, there's so many grenade mods. My personal favorites are the magic missile and the chain lightning. Those are both only available through the Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep DLC, which they made an entire game based on that. They made Tiny Tina's Wonderland for the PS5 or 4, I don't know which one it is. That is based on a single DLC for Borderlands 2, which that DLC is almost better than the entire actual game. It is my favorite thing. It's so good. It's so funny, and it's amazing. It's such a smart game, this whole thing, I'm telling you. If you've never played Borderlands 2, you do not have to play Borderlands to understand it. In fact, I would recommend just skip Borderlands, go straight to Borderlands 2. And they've made other games. They made the pre-sequel, which was meh. They made Borderlands 3. I didn't play it, but I've seen the gameplay. My son plays it, and it's... oh my gosh. It's also meh. There's, they tried to build on it, and it really just give us another DLC. Use the same game mechanics, just give us more story. The characters, we love those characters. Just leave the characters, give them more things to do. That's all we want. Anyway, Borderlands 2, definitely one of my all-time absolute favorite games. Other favorite games, Minecraft. Minecraft is super fun. It's whatever you're in the mood for. If you just want to go mining, go mining. If you want to go exploring, go exploring. If you want to kill a bunch of mobs, go kill a bunch of mobs. If you want to build some crappy castle, that's my specialty. I'm not a good builder. Crappy is my specialty. But whatever you want to do. If you want to work on some redstone, go work on some redstone. It's a great game. Oh gosh, I'm telling you. Anyway, games that I haven't played that I mean to, Stardew Valley. I've got it on my phone. I keep saying I'm going to do a playthrough, but I haven't yet. And oh, this is getting frustrating. So, video games are so fun and relaxing. Oh my word! Are you kidding me? That was almost worth it. All right, we're gonna wrap this whole thing up. This has gone on way too long. I hope you guys are amazing. I hope you guys are amazing. You are amazing. I've proven it by just deciding that you're amazing. Hole in one. You're wonderful and amazing, and I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Come back for the next one, and I'll see you. Goodbye.